Hi, I'm Steve Sapienza.
And I'm Nora Moraga-Lewy. We're members of the editorial team at the Pulitzer Center.
And we're here to talk about underreported stories, why they matter, and how you find them.
An underreported story covers an issue that is important, but isn't getting the attention it deserves.
These can be stories that aren't necessarily in the breaking news headlines, or they're covered, but missing critical perspectives and nuance.
Underreported stories, they're underreported for reasons. It usually has to do with our agenda setting.
It's driven by clicks and news cycles around things like disasters and elections. Of course, that doesn't tell the whole story about the world.
These are stories that can save lives. For example, we now know that there was far less coverage of the coronavirus issue in the first weeks of 2020 than we should have had, given what epidemiologists knew at the time. The last time there was a pandemic, in 1918, the same thing happened. The flu claimed millions of lives, but the virus barely made the front page because most news coverage focused on World War I.
Underreported stories raise awareness about issues we know little about. Reading them makes you a smarter citizen, better able to make informed decisions and useful contributions to society.
They also illuminate the deeper issues that we face as a society. They help us build empathy, expose corruption, hold the powerful accountable, find solutions to difficult problems, and effect change. These stories can be about a lot of things. They can investigate inequality and why the gap between rich and poor in our societies is continuing to expand. They could look at the effect of incarceration on families, especially children, or the effects of climate change on the Great Lakes, coastal cities, and beyond.
They can be stories about women's contributions to the well-being of their communities, from the forest defenders in the Amazon to nurses who risk their lives in the Philippines, or nuns on the US-Mexico border who stand up to powerful people and institutions. They are stories that explore important questions. So how do you find these stories?
Notice what kind of stories interest you and determine why that's interesting to you.
Start with the questions that bother you. Do you see things that appear to you unfair or wrong, but that no one is addressing?
Talk to people who have traveled to a place you've never been and ask them what surprised them most. If you hear something that interests you, follow up with your own research.
Visit the website of investigative newsrooms or outlets that focus on specific topics. Can you verify the representation of what is said by Googling other trusted sources?
Is there an individual you've met who is doing amazing work for other people, but whose story has never been told to the broader community?
These are the stories that allow us to see the world in a new light, better understand the issues we face, and make change.
These are underreported stories, and they deserve to be told.